I'm joined here with my good friend Ben Hess. Brought us his sweet OBS. Bone stock though.
We gotta do a few upgrades.
284 horsepower. It's pretty freaking good. Gen 3 Stage 1, the E99 conversion on this bone stock OBS. We're gonna do Stage 1 H-pop, 180/30s from full force, and a Marty Z fuel kit. What do you guys think it's gonna make? Let me know in the comments below. Now I'm gonna show you guys how easy this is. So we already got the filter off. Take the CCV off. Oh, wrong way. Intake out of the way. Easy cheesy. Got the Y bridge. I'm gonna pop this out. Be mindful of this O-ring. Gonna need that. Got my two pedestal bolts out. I just swap again. Do the up pipe, down pipe clamps. And we're laughing. That's it. It's literally that easy. I want to lose this nut. No, just pull it out. It is that easy. Pop, and you're done. If anyone can take an OBS turbo off that fast, with all the bolts in place and everything stock, I will give you $1,000 or a free casing turbo. Probably that. I'm telling you guys, it literally does not get easier than this. Literally 5 minutes and I have the turbo and pedestal out. Like, no idea why you would buy a 2.4 drop-in. That seems insane to me. So you see all this? I pretty much got to remove from here to here. I just got to take all this out. Yeah, look at that. Pedestal out. It's not that hard. 4 volts. Just don't lose these bolts or break them, because according to the master tones, the correct head size, flange, whatever smooth shank length, it's super duper hard to find, or it's like a special order bolt. So don't lose them. You do lose them or break them, you could probably get replacements off like MasterCar, because they do all kinds of specialty bolts and stuff. Don't forget your O-rings, guys. We stuff some rags and some holes. Probably unplug our injector harness, because we're doing that next. So unplug our injector harness. Gonna disconnect this.
So on the back side, there's going to be this hose is one of them. And then I believe there's 2 going to the top of the pump and 1 that goes to the bottom of the pump. Kind of the bowl should have, I think it's 2 bolts going straight down.
2 vertical bolts. Okay, so let's start pulling shit apart. I don't know if you have to do this, guys, but I'm just being extra precautious for the sake of my own peace of mind. I want to pull this guy. This feller. I need to unhook this line right here and this other feed line, and then this regulator will come off. So I'm gonna pull that and catch you guys when she's off. Got it. All right, what else are we still hooked to? There we go. Yippee, we're making a mess. All right, so that's, mess made, and we'll take off that line. And fuel bowls out. Let go, please. Thank you, goodbye. Okay, so there's little sensor guys back here, like that one, and this one, and this one. So just gently massage them off. Fuel pump. Oh, sorry. I have to pry it off because this thing's been in here for 30 years. So it is freaking locked in there. Here we go. She is coming out now. So here's the fuel pump. Get a shot of that. You see that push rod? That steel rod right there? We're gonna take this out because I've heard stories, and so has Tony, of, well, we gotta vacuum this before it all falls in this hole, of that push rod falling out after they remove this pump to go electrical and causing other problems. So let's toss this thing, pull this push rod out. Oh, I dropped a turd in there. All right, guys, so far we got all the fuel system stuff out of the way. I got the 2 H-pop bolts this way, got those off, got all the lines off. Got the front cover, the H-pop cover off, 2 little 8 mils, and then you got to unhook the exhaust back pressure sensor tube. And get yourself an 18, and we're gonna take this H-pop gear off, and then I can pull the H-pop out of the truck. There you go, it's just coming out. Got it. So here's that factory 300,000 mile oil pump. I'll swap some fittings over, and then we can drop the new one in. So take apart your IPR, this little nut, this little collar, and this little foil guy. Sure it's not too screwed up. And you can thread this thing out the rest of the way.
What size socket?
A special one. It's an 1.1 inch. You can use an 1.1 inch wrench, or you gotta have the fancy boy socket. Okay, so there's that. And I gotta tighten it on there.
You want to tighten those on like a tiger?
Tight like a tiger. This is probably the wrong way to do this, but you know. Oh, actually, sounded like it's seated pretty good. Woo. Got it. Only made a small mess. 7.3s, they have a under valve harness. So your valve cover gasket is also like a wiring harness pass-through bulkhead. Nice and oily. Woohoo! They're just too small. We need bigger ones. Go! Full force, number one. Oh. And this is pretty simple, man. You just take your injectors out, take off your little tip, and I like to keep them and put them back on the cores when you send them back. Kind of double check, make sure crush washer's there and all the O-rings look good. And then that long slot, I don't know if you can see it. That long slot is what goes towards the center of the engine. And you kind of got to hold it up while you're sliding it in. Let's drop it in while I'm holding up that collar. Kind of bottomed out right there. And then this is an electrical coil pack, so don't be hitting it with a real hammer. We need to seat the injectors all the way into the injector cups. Make sure they're fully seated before we go tightening anything and bend it. So just gently, gently, gently tap it with a dead blow hammer. See, it's moving just a little bit. Still moving, and just keep tapping it, tippy, tippy, tap. And then you hear the sound difference. Just sounds like you're hitting the cylinder head. That means it's bottomed out. That's it. Now, obviously be careful not to hit your little electrical connector on it and snap that off. That would be terrible. And yeah, that's it, guys. Now we just gotta do the rest of them. Easy. We're gonna drop in the Marty's fuel system. All right, gotta put a regulator in. We're gonna cycle the engine over again. Let me show you guys how to do it. We're just purging the cylinders here, but I gotta connect the batteries first. Let's bridge this front one with the tiny one. Last quart of oil going in. So far, we've done up pipes, E99 conversion, we did the full exhaust, we did a Marty's E-fuel, we did an H-pop, and we did 180/30 injectors. We just Cycled the fuel system, got the pressure set. She's at 65-ish in the green zone, you know, according to Marty's. And now just changing the oil, getting all the diesel out of it. Fresh oil, fresh filter. Got the turbo put back on. And we're going to fire this truck up, get all the air out of the H-pop, the oil system, get it bled, get it primed. Might have to take it for a drive to get the oil out, get it up to temp, and bring it back here and see what she makes on the dyno. What do you guys think? 450? Ben, 450? 500? 500. All right, here we go, guys. Let's do it.
Nitrous here, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got a bottle, dude. I'll do it.
Lay it all down, cause there's no slowing up. I can send it up, I can send it up.
Here it is, Ben. First drive, dude. We just got to get her warm, get some of the air out of the oil, and then we can take her for a test drive, or a dyno run. We'll probably be able to see.
It's peppier for sure. Oh, it sounds amazing.
Just, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, we're just putting around. Probably you can pull her down into second gear. Yep, she's hazing pretty good. Got to get her warm, burn all the crap out of the exhaust. A lot of that's,
Ooh, boy.
You should have seen the piles of oil that are in the downpipe, dude. It's a lot. How's we looking? That all looks pretty good.
KC turbos did it again. Does that sound normal?
There, yeah, pull up. Just in case. Make sure we got fuel pressure and all that jazz. Yeah, sounds all right. We are good, senor. She's just aerated.
Diesel's like high RPMs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are afraid to rev them because they think you're not supposed to, but really they make more power at like 2,000 than they do at 1,100. Oh, like a glove, dude. There we go. All right, dude, we made it. Ready, Charlie, make 650 horsepower?
Oh yeah, 650, that's a lofty goal. I was not aware of that.
I think we'll be happy with 4 to 450.
That wasn't the full beans, and that was only on tune 1, so that should be a pretty conservative tune. 322 horsepower, and this was the number 1. So what is number 1 tune?
It's modified stock.
Just basically
That's
stock
right.
with the bigger turbo. It's 20, a Holden 28 ICP, 2800 ICP, 22 pounds of boost. It's pretty good. You can tell it pulled power right here for some reason. Must be part of the tune, the stockish part of the tune. Number 8, you want to go on kill tune? You want a ghetto log for me?
Go to log again.
Cool.
Yep, it's definitely maxing out the map sensor.
383. Let's see what the map sensor looks like.
Yeah, it hit 20 like halfway through the pole and then went back down to 0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, blue was the first one we did, and yellow's one we did now. So below 2200, no change. Above 2200,
Yeah.
you know, you gain
All of it.
60 horsepower. Let's put the air filter on and face it up so it's sucking a little bit cooler air. We gotta get 17 horsepower out of it.
After we put the intake on, we also installed this boost filler to make sure it wasn't going to hit overboost and it wasn't going to defuel.
400 horsepower, here we come, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh, 395. Gosh,
Dude.
5 horsepower. Come on, baby. $409.
Hey, we got it.
That's right. Mission accomplished. Let's do one more so you can get 2 dyno numbers over 400. And then we'll try
Over
this. 410.
Hey, got even better.
Up.
Yeah,
How
this
much
thing
you
goes
think
pretty
we
good.
can go? That's not usual. It usually goes down.
Yeah, it usually goes the other way.
I'm curious. We'll do one more and see what it does.
All right, here we go, guys. Testing the 6637. Joey, is it going to do anything? The answer's no, anyway.
2 more better.
2 more betters, 2 more horsepower. That's pretty good, right?
All right. 6637. What do you guys think? Is it going to get a lot of horsepower?
I better worse.
20 horsepower.
Lost.
Lost.
Gained. Lost.
Lost.
All right, there you go.
Lost 20 horsepower.
So if you want to lose 20 horsepower at home, you too
Make
can
sure to
buy
bolt on a 6637
filter. You too can lose 20 horsepower.
So what do I replace it with?
I like the S&V filter. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
If you can, you want something that'll suck more cold air from the front. And then the 6637 filters really good. But the other ones filter fine too. Like guys are getting 500,000 miles out of their trucks with the other filters, but people are like, oh, but the filtration is so much superior with the 6637.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get 1,000,000 miles out of a truck instead of 500,000? Like no, the filtration of the other filters are fine. We've had really good luck with S&B.
Oh yeah.
So, but there's other good options. I know the bank stuff's really good. It's just the 6637 is quite possibly the worst filter that exists. And only 7.3 guys use them.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, they're so great. Then why doesn't anybody else? Nobody.
Yeah.
It's like a generator, tractor or something filter. It's made for like really, really dusty roads and really, really dirty conditions. It's not meant for something like this, but it fits. It's cheap.
Yeah.
But it usually does not make any more horsepower. Huh. Nothing wrong with it.
Now we know. Yeah.
For your mission,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're looking for every ounce of horsepower, it does make a difference to go with something.
Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna get rid of this thing.
Not like run it. Run it. But I just want the facts out there. It doesn't flow very well. The reason we started looking into it is we started having customers. We document when customers have issues.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of people like high EGTs, excess smoke. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? And when they changed out their 6637 filter, it got better.
Yeah.
So we started tracking it, and I started looking into it. And now I really don't like the 6637 filter. So we've had enough customers that have problems with it. Maybe brand new, fresh out of the box, it's fine, but it can hold a lot of media, and I think they clog up quickly.
Yeah. That is basically brand new, out of
Brand
the
new.
box.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You won't even notice it on the street. Let's get out the
Let's go
dyno
for a
and
drive.
it.
Let's go for a quick scan.
We'll go all the way up to the race. Let's just do 7, not 8.
It's 7.
7's like hot street, I think.
I often like the hot street tunes better, personally. Sometimes a heavy race tune, the pedal's too touchy or the shit is kind of weird.
Oh, this is way better. This is really good compared to what it was. Especially the modified stock. Oh, or the stock. Yeah.
Pretty good. Almost zero smoke. I like my trucks, the turbos run super.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it, guys.
Watching this whole team work was incredible. The way they just went about challenges, and things might have taken a little bit longer in certain times. But it's
Definitely.
like,
Sorry about that.
no, you did not give up. There was a solution for anything and everything, which was amazing to see.
Always.
And this thing runs like a champ. Oh my gosh! Like it just feels reliable, powerful. I can't wait to tow with it.
Yeah.
Just for reference, I'm gonna send you guys some footage, but I'm gonna be towing about a 15,000 pound fifth wheel. So this thing is gonna be maxed out. And I'm gonna go from 700 foot elevation or 500 to 7,000. So we're gonna really put this to the test.
Yeah.
The intercooler is not in yet. I'm gonna try to tackle that at home. So we'll see how this first trip goes in a few days, and I'm gonna keep you guys posted.
Go check out Ben's channel, Ben Has Films. Where else can they find you? benhas.com.
Yeah, on Instagram, my website, Ben Has Films.
Ben,
All
thank
right.
you again.
Yeah, we gotta do this.
Drive
we gotta
home
do this.
safe. Feel well. Drive home safe, man.